I had gotten out of an 8-year abusive relationship and met someone on a popular online dating app. To be honest, I wasn't looking for anything serious, just someone to go out with and maybe watch a movie and have a drink every now and then. I had 2 boys and was happy and living a peaceful life on my own after going through hell. So I meet this guy who is just a couple years older than me, and he had turned his life around. When he was younger, he used to be in gangs and into drugs, and now he was into working out and staying really fit and doing family stuff. I guess you could say I felt protected by him. He was a hard worker, self-sufficient, had a son, and loved going to the gym every day. I myself had kind of a crazy past, but overcame it, and so we seemed like a good fit. We would go out to dinner, movies, normal dating stuff, but he eventually wanted to spend more and more time together, and I was having trouble giving up all my free time for him, and he would get angry about this. Like, really angry. After being with a controlling, possessive jerk for so long, this was obviously a red flag, and after 3 months, I told him I didn't want to see him anymore. He said he needed to confess something to me. He admitted to me that he was using steroids, and that was the reason for his mood swings. He cried and said he was sure that that was the only reason and was willing to stop if it meant he could have another chance, and I obliged, but only under the condition that we remained friends. Things were okay for a while. We saw each other maybe every other week, and he started wanting to see me every week, to which I told him I was not interested in being anything other than friends at the moment, since I was not ready for a relationship. He tried to talk me into giving him another chance, but I just didn't find myself interested in him in a romantic way, and so I insisted that we just be friends. I stopped talking to him. I got mad at his insistence that we still talk every day, since he said that's what friends do. He would always ask about my whereabouts and ask for pictures of who I was hanging out with, and I told him that this is not what friends do, and he just insisted that he just innocently wanted to see what I was up to. Fast forward 6 months later, and I hadn't spoken to him within that time. I was happy and living my life, and on one particular night, when my youngest son was at his dad's, I went out to a local bar with my friends. My oldest son, who was 13 at the time, was home alone, so I left a little early to make sure I was home around 10. So a little info on my living situation. I have been living in my condo for almost a year, and we live in a great, safe community, and I would leave my patio sliding glass door open, screen closed of course, to get a breeze in at night, no biggie. My bedroom was close to the patio, and my son would sleep in the loft that was closest to the front door. I'm dead asleep when I suddenly feel someone slowly sit on my bed. I'm laying in bed, wondering why my son would come sit on my bed so slowly. He wouldn't. I turn around, and it's not him. It's my ex, laying down in the bed next to me. I sit up and I ask him how he got in. He's not answering me. He says, "I needed to talk to you." I said, "Okay, when you need to talk to someone, you don't just sneak into someone's room. You call them, you leave a note for them, literally anything but this." I'm thinking, I'm gonna kill my kid for letting him in. He said, "I didn't have your number anymore. I needed to talk to you before it's too late." I didn't even entertain this before it's too late bit because I was livid, but something told me to keep my cool. I sit up and say, "Look, I really want to talk to you too, but not like this. Please just leave, and I promise we will talk tomorrow. Call me tomorrow." He gets up and walks over to my side of the bed and starts rubbing my shoulder and is slowly making his way to my neck. He says, "Do you really want to talk?" I look him in the eyes and I say, "Yes, I've been wanting to talk to you, but not like this. Please call me tomorrow." He stares at me while rubbing my neck and goes down to my shoulders and says, "Okay." Then he proceeds to exit through my patio door and jumps my patio wall, which tells me this is exactly how he got in. I freak the hell out, check on my kid. He had no idea what was going on, locked all my doors, and I didn't sleep the rest of the night. The next day, I text him and I tell him that if I ever see him near me or in my complex, I will call the police and to never contact me again. If you're wondering why I didn't call the cops to begin with, I knew he had a gun, so I was scared of being retaliated against for being a snitch. He left me alone, and I didn't hear from him for years. 4 years later, I'm going through Facebook, and I see his face in the people you may know. I click on the picture and notice that it's looking like a jail picture. You know, those pictures where a guy is clearly in a jail cell? I scroll down the page, and most recent post is him posting his address for his family members to write to, a prison address. So I Google his name, and sure enough, articles after articles, all with the same headline, man arrested on suspicion of killing girlfriend. About 2 years after he and I dated, he shot and killed the girl he was dating. That could have been me, and I feel like shit thinking if there was anything I could have done to stop him. Even scarier though, is that he only got 12 years for her murder.